एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरपौ निर्भय अकाल मूर्त अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरपौ निर्भय अकाल मूर्त अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरपौ निर्भय अकाल मूर्त अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। तन तन गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी महाराज, तन गुरु गोबिंद सिंह साहिब सच्चे पातशाह हजूर, तन गुरु नानक साहब महाराज। भूल छिमो हमरी प्रभापन पूरनहार कहाँ को मौसम, गम चे बाशत गफलत अज याद खुदा, चीज शादी याद बेमतहा। हवाए बंदगी अवुड दर वजूद मरा, वगरने ज़ौक़े चुनिया आमदैन नमूद मरा। We are exploring the Baani of the JAPJI for some weeks now. We've reached the 17th Pauri, and today we will explore what the 17th Pauri says to us. The vichar of Baani is a darshan of Guru, a way of meeting the Guru. What the Guru has in his mind is what the Baani is carrying to us. And in exploring the Baani, we explore what the Guru has to say, what the Guru is, who the Guru is. And when we merge our thought with the Guru's Baani, when we assimilate our value systems with the Guru, when we reflect on what Guru says in the Baani, then we meet the Guru in a way. Even if we had a physical Guru, we will meet the Guru and hear what the Guru has to say to us. In the JAPJI, Maharaj has taken us into a journey of trying to understand and live the reality of life, explore the spiritual identity of myself, explore the nature of the human mind. And in doing so, Maharaj has invited us to live a life of acceptance, to accept what I cannot change and not be in conflict. He introduced us to a word, hukam, which is all-pervading creation, which is kudrat. He told us how the mind gets transformed and the inner mind's reflections become more apparent. Maharaj says when we start to listen, we start to change. Most of us don't listen. When the Guru is talking to us, we are judging what the Guru is saying. So there is no acceptance. There's judgment. But Maharaj says if we listen and absorb, then it transforms us. From suniye, it takes us into maniye, manne, takes us into living the reality of the Guru, and then elevates such a person to the state of Panch, the recognized, the rewarded. In the spiritual world, what is the reward? We contemplated that last time. There are some hidden jewels of life within us. Most of us will go by without knowing what potential we carry. But some of us may realize the potential of meeting our inner self, dropping our ego and thoughts and going into the realm of Sahaj, Tirghar, Maharaj then, now in the 17th body, again discusses the Kudrat, creation, the creator. Intolerance is one of the harsh words with which most of our present society works. We don't know our own self. We don't know what is religion. But one way of how we explore this is by being intolerant towards the other's religion. Who am I? I don't understand that. So I build a wall. I build a wall around myself to separate myself from the others, to say and understand who am I. And so even in religion, when we don't know and practice and live the religion, live the spiritual potential of a religion, then what we do is say, I am the better religion. The other is not so good. Everyone must follow what I follow. If we really look at the psychology of these thoughts, they will come from an inner sense of disbelief. I don't believe in what I'm talking about. So I create these facades to convince myself. But Maharaj in the 17th body is going to tell us about the different forms of others' practices and many practices. So once again, Guru is looking at what is prevalent, what is existent, and he does not say, I am the center of it all. Everyone must follow me. There is none other. In fact, Guru Amar Das, in one Shabad beautifully narrates it. Jagat jalanda rakh le, apni kirpa tar. Jit dware ubre, te tele ubar. The world is burning. Save it. That's a prayer. Whatever way, whatever door, whatever method that's possible, it should be done. Not my method. Most of our lives are burning and in torture is because we stick to I, my method, my way, my nature, my country. I want to be superior to others because I don't feel superior. Let's see what the 17th body says, and then we'll go into the narration of what Guru Nanak Sahib Maharaj is talking about in this body of Asankh. Ranjit Kaur ji is going to narrate the body.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਅਸੰਖ ਜਪ ਅਸੰਖ ਭਾਉ ਅਸੰਖ ਪੂਜਾ ਅਸੰਖ ਤਪ ਤਾਉ ਅਸੰਖ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਮੁਖ ਵੇਦ ਪਾਠ ਅਸੰਖ ਜੋਗ ਮਨ ਰਹਿ ਉਦਾਸ ਅਸੰਖ ਭਗਤ ਗੁਣ ਗਿਆਨ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਅਸੰਖ ਸਤੀ ਅਸੰਖ ਦਾਤਾਰ ਅਸੰਖ ਸੂਰ ਮੂਹ ਬਖਸਾਰ ਅਸੰਖ ਮੋਨ ਲਿਵ ਲਾਏ ਤਾਰ कुदरत कवन कहा विचार, वार्या ना जावा एक बार, जो तुध भावै साई पलिकार, तू सदा सलामत निरंकार। वाहेगुरु जी।
धन्यवाद, थैंक यू। जो तुध पावे साई पलिकार, तू सदा सलामत निरंकार। Whatever pleases you, whatever is your will, whatever is your hukum, that is the right thing to be done. The only aspect of creation which is permanent is the Creator himself. The rest of us all are bubbles in the creation. One way we can make our possibilities infinite is to understand that the Creator is the source of ourselves. And we recognize and know that and live that source. Like a river meets the ocean, dissolves itself into the ocean and becomes the ocean. It has to give up its identity. If it struggles to not give up the identity, it cannot merge with the waters of the ocean. I always struggle. I feel more secure in the I. We want to resist merging with the Creator. But there are no other options. Like a flowing river, our lives are also flowing. They are hitting the banks and creating conflicts. And the conflict will not calm down till it merges with the ocean. The eye is a transient phenomenon the river has to travel from its inception to the ocean. It needs the eye. The river has an identity. It got created. And the flow of the river suggests that it is seeking something. All of us are also seeking something. Guru says that we have come into this world incomplete in our mind, and the completeness rests within us. The pain and conflict we feel is our teacher telling us that we are not yet complete. When we are completed, then conflict goes away. Maharaj says forever. Not temporarily, but forever. To sada salamat nirankar. The 17th Pauri is using the word asank. Sank is a count, is a measure of count which is in trillions. So asank symbolizes infinite. That which is not, we cannot comprehend in counting. Often people will ask this question, which jap should I do? Which jap is better? Who does better jap? What is jap? The method of doing jap is to transform the mind. Japaman Satnam Sada Satnam. Halat palat mukh ujal hoye hai. In this world and the world after, this jap will transform us. transform the mind. How does it transform, Maharaj? Well, we are for one entrapped in our thoughts. And one way in which we are trapped in the I is that we are trapped in our thoughts. We cannot find an escape from our thoughts. They keep haunting us. They may be right, may be wrong, may be futile, but they are a constant reminder that I have a mind which keeps moving, which is very active, which needs something to calm itself down. So we replace the thought with jap. That's one. Then we calm it down. Like we tie a boat which is in a river, we tie it to a peg and it stabilizes. Like that we stabilize the mind with jap. So we can start by doing jap loudly so that we hear it also. Gaviye suniye. That is one way in how we establish jap with dhyan. We make it part of our dhyan. Now, are all the japs the same? Let's talk about what Guru Maharaj tells us about Gurbani. Maharaj says, Jaisi mein aave khasam ki bani, taisa kari gyan mein lalo. And he says that this Bani is not mine. It comes to me. It reveals itself to me. From my beloved, from my source, from my creator it comes. So the creation is Bani, is Shabad. The entire creation is represented by Shabad. Also by Hukam, also by Naam, also by love. So all japs are not the same. One way in which we connect to Bani, we connect to our creator, to our source. And our source is Amrit. It is something which doesn't take birth and doesn't die. It is something whose essential nature is joy, unconditionally. Something whose presence is love, unconditionally. So when we connect to our source, we connect to this infinite treasure trove of life, where there are no conflicts, no hindrances, no mistakes. An ocean, a river, flowing with love within us. Maharaj says, Amrit Bani har har teri. Sun sun hove paramgat meri. Your Bani is Amrit, full of love and full of joy. By listening to it, I meet a higher self within me, a higher form of creation. Sun sun hove paramgat meri. Why did we take birth, Maharaj? Bhai Nandlal was a Persian poet in the court of Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Maharaj. And he says that bandagi is the reason why he has taken birth. Otherwise, there was no need to come. He says, Daulat Javed Bashat Bandagi. Bandagi kun bandagi kun bandagi. We can define life by the physical presence of our body, the physical form and shapes around us. But these are all fleeting, they are all changing, they are all unstable. The defining of life by connecting with our inner source is more permanent. And even in the face of death, our joy doesn't go away. We don't become unstable, insecure. We don't lose the ability to be in love and joy. This is the difference of jap. But Maharaj is now not telling us to judge. He is inviting us to accept. Everyone has the freedom to do and practice what he or she thinks is right. So Maharaj in the first line says, Asank jap, asank pao. There are infinite forms of doing jap. People do it in infinite ways, and there are infinite japs. There are infinite ways of expressing and finding love. By this way, Maharaj is telling us, never go into conflict with what the other is doing and dominate your thought on the other. He is saying, life has a free element, and we have no right to obstruct it. We can discourse on it, we can suggest on it, but we can never use force on it, because that is an element of the ego. Asank jap, asank pao. Asank puja, asank taptao. There are infinite ways in which people celebrate the Creator. Asank taptao. In so many ways they do penances, they do their own methods. We may find them wrong, but we have no way of saying that they cannot do them. In Gurbani, in the Guru Nanak's house, tap is seva. When I merge myself in the seva of another, that's my tap. Giving up the ego is the tap of creation. It's the most difficult thing to do, give up the creation, the ego. That's the only identity we have. Because it is so difficult, that's why we need the Guru. And we need love as a stimulant. When Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Maharaj talks about meeting the Creator, he says that we can use all forms of methods of yoga, dhyan. These are all fine. But without love, they're all meaningless. We can discourse on Gurbani, on literature, on knowledge, and we can dominate the other by our thoughts on what we know. But life goes away like that. Baas kiyo, bikhyan so baith ke. Aise hi aise so bais bitayo. Like this, the world goes away. He says, Saaj kahun main, sun le ho sabe. Jin prem kiyo tin hi prab payo. Today, religion is a very potent tool, very aggressively used to divide society. But Guru Sahib doesn't believe in that. He wants us to not judge. He wants us to accept. He wants us to know that there are others and there are other ways. And they are not all wrong. He wants us to live like a flower in a garden which has many other flowers. He wants us to know that we have no right to dominate the other over religious issues or any other issues. Maharaj has invited us to realize that there are other ways of meditation, there are other ways of jap. He says there are also other granths. And that's why Guru Arjan Sahib also has invited Shabads from all areas of his part of the world. Wherever there is agreement and no conflict with the Guru Nanak's house, and where there is the creator is the center of the Shabad, Naam is the center of the Shabad. Maharaj has used it in the Guru Granth. That's one way of telling us there are others. Today we have all become very narrow-minded. We are fearful of doing job from which the other may be doing, even out of respect. We want others to do the job we do. We want others to follow the religion we follow. We want a number game to be played in religions. Where is that relevant? There may be, Maharaj has told us this in the Baani in the past. Nawa khanda mein jani hai, naal chale sab koi. Je jug chare arja. There may be crores, hundreds and thousands of crores doing something. That doesn't make it the absolute way. It may not necessarily be right. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Maharaj was in the court of Bahadur Shah. In the battle of succession, Muazzam had approached him, and so Maharaj stood with him in battle and he won. He was invited to court. There is one sword which has come from Makkah, and it is a very important sword from the lineage of in Islam. And there are at least 3 or 4 important figures mentioned in gold written in that. This sword is present in Anandpur, and when they show the sword, they mention it. Hazrat Ali, I think, if I'm not wrong. That was presented by Bahadur Shah to Sahib. In the court it was asked, is your way better or ours better? I think the words were, Maharaj then says, to you yours is great, to me mine is great. तुमको तुम्हारा खूब, हमको हमारा खूब. Where is the conflict? The idea is to meet the Creator, to know and live His love and peace, in inner joy, an unconditional, without barriers, life flowing into the absolution of a reality which is permanently joyous, vibrant with its energy of love. Where is the conflict? You choose a way and you find it good, very well. तुमको तुम्हारा खूब, हमको हमारा खूब. And now, in today's time, we use religion as a way of killing people, dominating over them, even usurping their land, torturing them. It has happened in our land, it happens in others' lands. Our mind is so conflicted and so much in chaos that that which should be uniting us all is used as a way of dividing society. It's used as a way of expressing hatred, not love. Completely opposite of what it was meant to be. Some of the leading religions in numbers in this world are created out of force, out of wars, subjugating others. This is exactly what Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Maharaj expresses himself against. And here, nearby in Seesganj, Maharaj gives a proclamation. He gives us his body as a message that this cannot be done. We cannot force our faith on another and take away their option. We cannot do this. And his message resounds. Bhai Jeta took his head to Anandpur. It's a very loving way in which this whole narration happens. How much love there is for Guru Tegh Bahadur Maharaj. The Sikhs were very angry. Maharaj says, Asank jap, Asank pao, Asank puja, Asank tapatao, Asank granth mukh ved path. Ved is knowledge. There are many granths, many texts, many bodies harboring knowledge. And people narrate them, mukh ved path. Asank jog man rahe udas. And yogi text was, Jog actually means to join. Hindu, Muslim and Yoga, this was the other tradition. In 500 years ago, Yoga was a separate panth, separate method. But Maharaj says there are many ways, infinite ways, and people can join Yoga. Yogis are the ones who are in earnest wanting to connect to the Creator. Man rahe udas, and they are sad within their mind by not meeting the Creator. Asank sati, asank datar, and many truthful people in this creation who give up datar willingly, without ego, without demanding. They give to others. When I give to another without demanding, then I reduce my ego and I feel lighter. I give up my burden. I give up a part of my identity. I give up the pain I have. I live accepting that there is another. And I do without demanding in return, so I don't ask for in ego. Maharaj says there are some who ask also. De mange se saguna. They do little, but they ask 100,000 times back. And sob kare sansar, and they want appreciation as well. The moment we do that, we convert our positive doing into ego, into the ego asking. There we make a record of what we do then. Then we are doing a trade. We are not in love. Asank jog man rahe udas. Asank sati, asank datar. असंख भगत गुण ज्ञान विचार. जोग मन रहे उदास, असंत भगत गुण ज्ञान विचार. And many bhagats who contemplate the qualities of the Creator, the gun, gyan, they discuss them, discourse them, think about them. Asank sati, asank sati, asank datar, asank surmo paksar. The spiritual method is not without obstacles. It's not without its own problems. It's not without its own hindrances on the way. The spiritual life has its own tests. And so those who walk this path are spiritual warriors. And they take on a lot of pain to walk this path. In Gurbani there's a very oft repeated word, which is ajar jarna, is to go through something which cannot be tolerated, which cannot be lived through. Ajar, it can't be accepted, but to live it. So the spiritual warrior does that. So Maharaj says, Asank Surmo Paksar. Those Surma, the warriors, the spiritual warriors, they live through and they take hurt on themselves, on their face with metal. When one finds love, one goes through pain willingly. One accepts and tolerates it. Doesn't get wavered, doesn't give up the path because of pain. Asank surmo paksar, asank mon livlaitar. And he says there are many who are silent and trying to connect or are connected to the Creator. But Maharaj says in this Maun, we know in the JAPJI, in the beginning, out of the 4 methods, Maharaj says, which will not reveal the truth to us. One is this. Chuppe chup na hovi, je lai raha livtar. By being silent verbally, the silence has to happen in the mind. Kudrat kavan kaha vichar. Kudrat is the creator, the entire creation. Maharaj says, I can't fathom discussing, knowing, ruminating on the Creator. Not even once can I give up myself to the Creator completely. Varya na java ek var. The Creator is beyond thought, beyond measure. So I can't even measure him even after I give up myself to him or her. Jo tud paave sai palikar, tu sada salamat nirankar. Maharaj says, this whole creation is in the hukum and the will of the Creator. He gave us this understanding of daya, of compassion. Tol taram daya ka poot. Taram is part expressed through daya, through compassion. Maharaj says, Jo tud pave sai palikar, tu sada salamat nirankar. In this body, Sahib has introduced us to the many different ways in which religious and spiritual practices are being followed. And there are many. So if the question is asked, what is my job? What is the right job for me? The answer maybe lies in the last lines of this body. Jo tud pave sai palikar. Whatever helps me to give up my ego, whatever helps me to find Naam within myself, whatever helps me to merge with my Creator, Jo tud pave sai palikar. That is the right job for me. If the job is helping me find Naam, find stability, find peace, find love, then it will help me find a part of life which doesn't die. To sada salamat nirankar. That which is formless, the Creator, will always be, was and is. Timeless energy. Maharaj in the JAPJI asked this question, Kiv sachiara hoiye, kiv kude tutte pal. He arrives at the punch. Those who have known, those who have fathomed the hukum. And then he narrates Qudrat to us, the other aspects of creation which need understanding, need acceptance, reduce our confusion, where we can understand that there are other ways. There always will be. This is not the only way. There is no reason for us to force this way on anyone else. And I don't use the other as my stimulant. When I use another person as my stimulant, then this aspect of spirituality is only a play of the ego. It's not a play of the spiritual love. What is the stimulant for a Sikh? It's Shabad, meeting the Shabad. And what is forever is the Shabad. If I have to understand the hukum of the Creator, I have to drop the ego. I cannot ask this question from the ego platform and say, what is thy will? What is your will? I cannot know it in vichar, in thought. I want to fathom the creation in thought and know it in thought. But Maharaj says, Kudrat kaun kaha vichar? How can it be understood in thought? I can't be sacrificed to him even once. My creation is a minuscule opportunity in front of the Creator. The only way I can live the Creator is give up my ego. But it can't be done in thought. Kudrat kavan kaha vichar. I can't fathom him or this creation in thought. But in meeting, I can live it. By dropping my ego, I can live the Creator. But it will not be me. It will not be my ego. And how do I meet the Creator? We meet Him in Anand, in joy, unconditional love within us. That is the sign that we have met our Creator. So Maharaj is continuing his flow of thought in the JAPJI. Hukam razai chalna, Nanak likhya naal. And to me, the 17th Pauri is living that in a different way by knowing and observing the world around me, the spiritual world around me. Let us resolve to break the barriers which divide society, the hatred which makes us bitter towards the other. Find love within us to resolve and come up with solutions. Today, all our energy is consumed by making arms to harm the other. It's because we are full of hatred. We haven't found the love of Naam within us. कुदरत कवन कहा विचार, वारे न जावा एक बार, जो तुद पावे साई पलिकार, तू सदा सलामत निरंकार. You are always and will be forever. My merging with you is my being a part of the creation forever. The vichar of the 17th Pauri. I would like to end today here. Open up the platform to any questions or thoughts. We can share them. And then we culminate the session with Anand Sahib, the Pani of Guru Amar Das. Thank you.
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह.
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह.
Vijay, can you explain the meaning of Tao again in the line Asank Puja, Asank Tap Tao?
So tap is directly narrated means penance. So when we talk about tap in Gurbani and in the house of Guru Nanak, it's the seva. And tap is one way in which we transform ourselves, give up our ego. Asank Tap Tao. So the transformation of the mind will happen through moving to an inner mind which is more sublime, which is more creative, which is more unified. And this is the tap when we give up our ego mind. Tap Tao by itself is literally meaning tapana, being consumed by flames and burnt up. When the ego gets burnt up, so that tap and tao are synonym words. Ji. In Sikhism, tap tao is basically seva. That's how we give up our ego.
Viji, can we say that contemplating or of a thought, to discuss the thought seriously, is a form of bhakti? Can we say that?
Bhakti is not in thought, it's beyond thought. Thought can inspire us to do bhakti. Thought can guide us to do bhakti. But bhakti starts when we stop the mind. Thir ghar baiso har jan pyare. That's when we are doing the tap tao. When we give up our ego. When we break the walls which we have been using to separate ourselves from our Creator. When we give up our identity willingly within ourselves. जी
Viji, can you please explain again the meaning of laitar?
connected. Live laitar. So when the surt gets connected, then it's like a connection to a wire, with a wire. Live, judni. When the thought becomes surt, focused mind, and it gets connected. Bhagat Kabir, in one of his shabads, very interestingly narrates, Asman mein aane lehng darya, gusl kardan bood. Within your dasam dwar, there is a river of love, river of Anand, flowing. Asman mein aane, within it, lehng darya, gusl kardan bood. He says, bathe in it. How simply put. When we connect to our Creator without our ego, then we can bathe in the river of love and joy. Maharaj.
Viji, on one hand, we read read in the books or listen from others that God is very kind, He loves us. But on the other hand, we say that Jo tud paave sai likar. Then is it a kind of contradiction that we say that He loves us, but even then He does what He wants to do? Jo tud paave.
So, there are two lives we can live. One is the ego life, where I am. My will is the center of my creation. And one is the life where I give up the ego. There I become part of the Creator's will. One of the paths will go towards pain, and one will go towards Anand. The ego will take us to pain, ultimately. When anyone says that God loves us, I would say God is love. But we don't want to meet that love when we say I am and my will should exist. Then I am not recognizing my source from where I have come. I am in denial and conflict. In the Asadivar, Maharaj tells us, Hukam kiye man pavde, ra pide age javna, nanga do jag chalya, tad se khada daravna. We can live by our own rules and say my ego will dominate my life. That's my choice. Hukam kiye man pavde. But the road ahead will become narrow and painful. And in the end, there will be a lot of pain, nanga do chakchalya, and fear. Because ultimately, we have to give up the ego in the end of life. The ego will be taken away from us by force if we don't give it up willingly. That's how nature and creation is. Now Maharaj tells us that you do this during your lifetime. Learn how to live in Naam and give up your identity willingly and merge with your Creator. Then death loses its meaning. Because the foundation of my life is no longer my identity. I live it. In the physical aspect, I live my identity. But it's not my foundation. It's not something I cannot give away. It's not something without which I will be in pain. Because I have found a source of love within me which is beyond my identity, beyond my conditioned mind, beyond my ego mind. This is the nature of creation. We can say this, that God is really torturous. He wants me to follow him. So it is really wrong of God to do that. But then what am I doing? I am saying God must follow me. And is that right for me to do? Whether it is right or wrong, if there is a success to life, it has to do with finding and breaking the barriers of life which are not permanent. If I can't find them, then whatever life has given me, it will take it away by force. Because the body is gone, everything will go with it. But if I find it, then I have a space within myself which is beyond the ego mind, beyond my identity. So asthan batavo mita, jaake har har kirtan nita, where joy and anand is flowing permanently. Ji Maharaj.
Thank you, Vijay.
Maharaj.
Vijay, there is no hand raised, so
We can go to Anand Sahib.
should we ask Ranjit Kaur ji to
Hanji,
recite?
Hanji, Hanji, Hanji.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ। ਰਾਮ ਕਲੀ ਮਹਿਲਾ ਤੀਜਾ। ਆਨੰਦ ਏਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ। ਆਨੰਦ ਪਿਆ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਾਏ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਇਆ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਤਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਸਹਿਜ ਸੇਤੀ ਮਨ ਵਜੀਆਂ ਵਾਧਾਈਆਂ। ਰਾਗ ਰਤਨ ਪਰਵਾਰ ਭਰੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਗਾਵਣ ਆਈਆਂ। ਸਭ ਦੋਤ ਗਾਵੋ ਹਰਿ ਕੇਰਾ ਮਨ ਜਿਨੀ ਵਸਾਇਆ। ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਆਨੰਦ ਹੋਆ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਇਆ। ਏ ਮਨ ਮੇਰਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਸਦਾ ਰਹੋ ਹਰ ਨਾਲੇ। ਹਰ ਨਾਲ ਰਹੋ ਤੂੰ ਮਨ ਮੇਰੇ ਦੁਖ ਸਭ ਵਿਸਾਰਣਾ। ਅੰਗੀਕਾਰ ਉਹ ਕਰੇ ਤੇਰਾ, ਕਾਰਜ ਸਭ ਸਵਾਰਣਾ। ਸਭਨਾ ਗਲਾ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਸੁਆਮੀ, ਸੋ ਕਿਉ ਮਨੋ ਵਿਸਾਰੇ। ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਮਨ ਮੇਰੇ, ਸਦਾ ਰਹੋ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਲੇ। ਸਾਚੇ ਸਾਹਿਬਾ ਕਿਆ ਨਾਹੀ ਕਰ ਤੇਰੇ, ਘਰ ਤਾਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਸਭ ਕਿਛ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਦੇਹ ਸੋ ਪਾਵੇ। ਸਦਾ ਸਿਫਤ ਸਲਾਹ ਤੇਰੀ, ਨਾਮ ਮਨ ਵਸਾਵੇ। ਨਾਮ ਜਿਨ ਕੈ ਮਨ ਵਸਿਆ, ਵਾਜੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਕਨੇਰੇ। ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਸੱਚੇ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਕਿਆ ਨਾਹੀ ਕਰ ਤੇਰੇ। ਸਾਚਾ ਨਾਮ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਧਾਰੋ, ਸਾਚ ਨਾਮ ਆਧਾਰ ਮੇਰਾ। ਜਿਨ ਭੁੱਖਾਂ ਸਭ ਗਵਾਈਆਂ, ਕਰ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਸੁਖ ਮਨ ਆਏ ਵਸਿਆ। ਜਿਨ ਇੱਛਾ ਸਭ ਪੁਜਾਈਆਂ, ਸਦਾ ਕੁਰਬਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਗੁਰ ਵਿਟੋ। ਜਿਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਵਡਿਆਈਆਂ, ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਸੁਣੋ ਸੰਤੋ, ਸ਼ਬਦ ਤਰੋ ਪਿਆਰੋ। ਸਾਚਾ ਨਾਮ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਧਾਰੋ, ਵਾਜੇ ਪੰਜ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਤਿਤ ਕਰ ਸਵਾਗੇ। ਕਰ ਸਵਾਗੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਵਾਜੇ, ਕਲਾ ਜਿਤ ਕਰ ਤਾਰੀਆ। ਪੰਚ ਦੂਤ ਤੁਧ ਵਸ ਕੀਤੇ, ਕਾਲ ਕੰਟਕ ਮਾਰਿਆ। ਤੁਰ ਕਰਮ ਪਾਇਆ ਤੁਜਨ ਕੋ, ਸੇ ਨਾਮ ਹਰਿ ਕੇ ਲਾਗੇ। ਕਹੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਤੈ ਸੁਖ ਹੋਆ, ਤਿਤ ਕਰ ਅਨਹਦ ਵਾਜੇ। ਆਨੰਦ ਸੁਣੋ ਵਡ ਭਾਗਿਓ, ਸਗਲ ਮਨੋਰਥ ਪੂਰੇ। ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਪਾਇਆ, ਉਤਰੇ ਸਗਲ ਵਿਸੂਰੇ। ਦੁਖ ਰੋਗ ਸੰਤਾਪ ਉਤਰੇ, ਸੁਣੀ ਸੱਚੀ ਬਾਣੀ। ਸੰਤ ਸਾਜਨ ਪੈ ਸਰਸੇ, ਪੂਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਤੇ ਜਾਣੀ। ਸੁਣਤੇ ਪੁਨੀਤ ਕਹਤੇ ਪਵਿੱਤ, ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਰਹਿਆ ਭਰਪੂਰੇ। ਬਿਨਵੰਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰ ਚਰਨ ਲਾਗੇ, ਵਾਜੇ ਅਨਹਦ ਤੂਰੇ। ਸੁਣਤੇ ਪੁਨੀਤ ਕਹਤੇ ਪਵਿੱਤ, ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਰਹਿਆ ਭਰਪੂਰੇ। ਬਿਨਵੰਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰ ਚਰਨ ਲਾਗੇ, ਵਾਜੇ ਅਨਹਦ ਤੂਰੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਹੈ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।